So I love my 2008 TSX about as much as a guy can love a car, but if I'm being honest with you guys, this is a 16-year-old New England car, and as a result, the paint on this thing is not great. It's super contaminated, super hazy, it's full of dents and dings, and it's even starting to show signs of surface rust, which I think makes this the perfect candidate to eventually sand and prime and get ready for a vinyl wrap. However, I do think there's plenty we can do in the short term to really bring this paint to life with just a few simple products from the auto parts store. Today's big heroes are going to be Meguiar's Ultimate Compound and Meguiar's Gold Class Paste Wax, which I'm really excited to try both of on this car, and we are going to be doing everything by hand today, no power tools included. This is my actual first experience ever paint correcting a car, so I'm not sure how it's going to go, but I wanted to bring you guys along for the ride. Let's get to work. So before we get to work here, guys, I do want to show you a test spot we did on the hood so you guys can actually see. This is an unpolished section up here, and this is polished, so that is a huge difference. You can see all the haze up there, and honestly, so much of the car is looking like this whole, look at that, that's gross. You can actually see the light change temperature and color as you go spot to spot. So we're going to hopefully have that effect on the whole car today, but we do need to wash it first before we clay it, then we can polish it and wax it. The full process for everyone wondering is going to be clean the wheels, rinse the car, wash the car, pull the car back in, clay bar each panel, then we can compound each panel, then we can wax each panel. This is going to be a long day. Alright guys, so with the preliminary wash all squared away, we are ready to start the polishing process. That is going to include the clay bar, then the polish, then the wax, and we are going to be going panel by panel. Alright guys, so we're going to start our polishing process up here in the top right hand corner of the hood, and we are going to be claying it first. So the process is pretty simple. First we're going to hit it with some soapy water, then we're going to lubricate the clay a little bit as well. And the idea is you want to slide the clay on top of the paint until you feel no resistance. So the clay is going to be picking up contaminants in the paint, and you guys will notice as you move the clay back and forth, it'll catch where there are more contaminants in some areas than others. This is actually feeling pretty good so far. The water is pretty soapy, so I'm going to have an extra bit of lubrication, which is fine. I'd rather have too much than too little, but if you listen real close, I don't know if you guys will be able to hear on camera, in certain spots it's kind of sandpapery, and in others it's just like glass. So like right there. It's a little sandpapery, so we're going to keep going in that area until it's completely smooth. Now, I'm not seeing any contaminants on the clay, which means we might have already clayed this area when we were doing our sample spot. Actually really smooth, and still nothing on the clay, so I think this area is pretty clean. Up next, we can grab our microfiber or terry. Nice and dry, and then we'll take a look. So I don't know if you guys can see on camera, but as it's drying up, there's still some haze in the paint, and this is where that Ultimate Compound or polish is going to come through really handy for us. Now for the polish, guys, we're going to take the Ultimate Compound, and we are going to apply 3 little dots to our microfiber applicator here. I'll even go with 4 just to be generous there. Plenty of polish on the pad, and then we're going to dab in that area before we start working it in. I'm going to dab it up a little bit here. Get it spread around. Now this is a small area, but I think it shows pretty well what the potential of this is going to be. And now we can just start working it into the paint. I might have went a little too heavy on the polish here for a smaller area, but this is the step where we should see some relief from some of that hazing. We are going to go back and forth both directions here, up and down, circular motions. It does feel like the microfiber has a nice little bite to it too, so we should get some deep cut here. Hopefully relieve some scratches as well. See some dry paint coming up now. So we're losing some lubrication, so I'm going to grab a microfiber. If we need to, we can lubricate this as well. I think it's probably a good idea. This bottle here is just clean, regular water. Just going to lubricate this out, throw a little on the hood. We're going to wipe up that excess polish. Now the polish you don't want to leave on here too long, guys. The wax needs to set for a little bit, but the polish you want to get right up off as soon as you can. And wow. Night and day difference again, that's crazy. So hopefully you guys can see on camera, so much of that hazing has been relieved already. Probably worth hitting this whole side of the hood one more time. And then we have a whole car to do, so I'm gonna get to work. Alright guys, a little update for you. I actually ended up going ahead a little bit. My camera battery died, so I just kind of kept going here with the polish. We did the whole right half of the hood. We did the top of the right fender. Went up and over into the door, and then we got a little bit of that rear quarter in the back as well. And if you guys look on the roof, I left a little bit of the haze on the paint. I'm hoping you guys can see it on camera. There's another quick shot of the roof here, guys. That's some of the haze that we took out. Look at that over there. It's absolutely insane. I have to say, this stuff, the Meguiar's Ultimate Compound, is an absolute miracle product. The car looks phenomenal. We're gonna keep going with the polish, and then we'll do the wax as a whole afterwards. Alright guys, so we just finished up the polish, and I don't even want to tell you guys how late it is. It's 3 in the morning. This car looks absolutely incredible. We didn't get a chance to wax it yet, and I still do need to polish the very rear end, bottom of the trunk and the rear bumper, because I can't get at that because of the door. So I think we're good to do that in the morning. We're gonna wax the car and finish up the rear end. This thing looks insane. Look at this thing, dude. I mean, obviously the glass is disgusting, but look at this paint, man. This is the best this car has looked since I bought it, man. This is so good. Got this whole side done. This was tough. It was a little tighter over here space-wise. All the side skirts and everything are done. Oh, I can't wait to pull this thing out in the sun and see how it looks. All right, guys, so we're back out here for day 2. We are gonna be using Meguiar's Gold Class Paste Wax. Really excited to try this out. Process is going to be pretty similar to the polish here. It does come with an applicator and the wax itself. Get the applicator out of here. Looks like it is foam and smells so good. What we're going to do is we're going to stick the applicator in here, give it a good wipe or two. And you don't need too much on here. But right about there should be pretty good. And we are going to apply it to the hood in a similar fashion to the polish. Spread it out with some dots. There, down. Probably could have went with maybe a little more. Now this is also my first time ever using paste wax on a car. So we're gonna go up and down, spread it nice and evenly. There's up and down, and then we'll go side to side. Now hopefully you guys will be able to see on camera here that the wax has left some streaks. What we're gonna do is we're gonna let that dry until we can wipe our finger through and have the wax come up. So you guys will see there's still some wax right there. What we want is for it to look completely clean with no wax streaking when we go to rub our finger through there. So we're gonna give it some time, and then we're gonna wipe it off with a microfiber. All right guys, so it's been about 10 minutes here for me with the Meguiar's Gold Class Wax, and this guy here is our most recent streak, and it's coming off pretty clear. So I think we're ready to buff this off. We'll see how it looks. Look at that. That is crazy. And so now we know too, guys, about 10 minutes is our amount of time we're gonna wanna let it all set. And so I think what I can do is start buffing each panel, or start waxing each panel, I mean. Set a timer for 10, and as soon as the timer goes off, I'll start buffing off what I already applied. And look at that, man. That is crazy compared to where we started. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for day 2 here on the car. Super happy with how this thing turned out. We did clay, polish, and wax the entire exterior of the car, and honestly I think it looked beautiful. This thing went from looking 16 years to 6 years old in about 1 weekend, and I will be honest, I definitely underestimated the amount of time this was all going to take. I don't know if I would hand polish an entire car again, at least not this one with the current state of the paint, but I'm super glad we did it this time because this car looks phenomenal compared to where we started. Big standout, guys, for this weekend is definitely that Ultimate Compound, and I am going to leave links in the description down below to all the products used in today's video, so if you guys are looking to restore your own paint, you can check out the products I use down below too. If you guys made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys a ton. If you did enjoy the video, feel free to leave a like down below and subscribe for more just like it, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.